Hey guys, it's Atomic Dawn here, back with another video, and today I will be discussing Tobirama Senju, Hashirama Senju, and Madara Uchiha, and the era of warring states, and how it played a pivotal role in Naruto's plot and thematic development. As previously discussed, Naruto is about human hypocrisy, and a common theme is the hypocritical acts of characters that end up perpetuating the same conflicts they intended to stop. The shinobi world is built on a dark pretext. Shinobi are tools. Tools that are used by their villages to be waged in war, tools for their ideologies, or tools for their hatred. To be a perfect shinobi, a shinobi must cut off one's feelings and become a perfect ninja tool. However, because they are always human, they never truly can. And perpetually through the series of Naruto, each character falls victim to the irony of their own humanity, and Tobirama is no exception. Vision in Naruto is linked to perception. The Sharingan, which literally means copy wheel eye throughout the series, has been used to symbolize the user's entrapment in the cycle of cyclical suffering that plagues the human race. Their visual prowess increases and their ability to self-reflect decreases. Whether this be Obito and his lack of awareness of the contradiction of wanting to abandon his past identity, while his experiences as his past self drove his current actions, or Itachi's manipulation of Sasuke creating a hate-filled monster that sought to destroy the very village Itachi wanted to protect, hence the users eventually going blind. The Rinnegan leads to the users attaining revolutionary enlightenment on the cyclical nature of human suffering. This is based on Buddhist and Hindu teachings of the cycle of human life, suffering, and rebirth. Each Rinnegan user sought to attain enlightenment and lead the human race to a world that had evolved past the cyclical suffering that had plagued the human race from its very inception. Madara, in his quest to find a cure for the human paradox, attained this vision and thus sought to become a messiah to the entire human race that would lead them past this chakra world full of suffering.
ウチアにこそできる役職を与え、次のマダラが出てきたとしてもすぐに対処できるよう考えた結果だ。兄者も知っているだろう。奴らウチアは悪に疲れた一族だ。
Tobirama, like his elder brother, craved an end to the era of warring states. He was a man who was very much about cold, hard logic in relation to his personal experiences. For example, when Hashirama is lambasted by his father for questioning the dogma that the era of warring states was built on, Tobirama stands up for his elder brother, even though he fights Izuna with Butsuma when spying on Hashirama and Madara. This is not because he agrees with his father's rationale for fighting, but simply because the logical chance of reaching a treaty and changing the minds of adults as a child is unlikely. Once the era of warring states ends, Tobirama shows his love for the foundations his elder brother built by becoming Hokage and creating many great disciples, passing on the will of fire to the man who will eventually become the third Hokage, Sarutobi. However, it is this very same sharp mind that eventually creates problems, as Tobirama, who craves stability and logic over everything else, creates many jutsu that create a majority of the conflict throughout the series. His trauma from the era of warring states leads him to believe that the Uchiha clan are a clan possessed by evil. Not even he can see the hypocrisy of his own actions. By failing to realize that the Uchiha clan's curse of hatred extends not only to the Uchiha, who have been able to manifest this hatred into the powerful Sharingan, but the entire human race, including himself. Tobirama and his dogma create many of the actions that create conflict later in the series, from Danzo to the marginalization of the Uchiha, to the forbidden ninjutsu sealed in the Scroll of Sealing from the first episode. Tobirama's sharp logical mind failed to realize his own hypocrisy. He was doing the very same thing that he accused the Uchiha of doing, and falling victim to humanity's curse of hatred. His thinking would inspire villains like Danzo, who made the Uchiha conflict even worse, leading to Itachi having to wipe out his entire clan to prevent another world war. Tobirama, just like the Madara he so feared and despised, forgot that destiny was created by the fortune that the universe gave out to others upon birth, and his actions made the Uchiha's fortunes more likely that they would succumb to hatred. Tobirama didn't realize that destiny wasn't immutable, just like Madara. His contradiction was even shown through the actions of Shisui and Itachi Uchiha, both of whom inherited the Will of Fire. The only saving grace for Tobirama was that he helped maintain the foundations that his elder brother built, while passing on the Will of Fire to those who will eventually create a world of peace for all shinobi. Madara and Hashirama's conflict is at the core of the Era of Warring States chapters in the manga. For starters, both Hashirama and Madara are reincarnates of the Sage of the Six Paths sons, Indra and Ashura. They first met at the river to skip stones. However, only Hashirama had the skill to toss his stones to the other side at first. It wasn't until Madara and Hashirama bonded over their dream of creating a ninja village that Madara gained the ability to skip his stones to the other side of the river. This was a metaphor for the resolve of each character, and one that is continuously called back upon throughout their appearances in the manga. As they part ways for the final time as children, due to their clans being at war with each other, Madara awakens the Sharingan, trapping him in the cycle of samsara, where he copied the actions of all the things around him he hates, which perpetuates his own suffering. This is the curse of the Sharingan. It is only through the awakening of the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan and his big battle with Hashirama that Madara changes upon seeing Hashirama's resolve to create the Uchiha and Senju clan alliance through sacrificing his own life. His passionate Mangekyo Sharingan eyes would have kept him in perpetual blindness to the hypocrisy of him hating the Senju clan that killed his brothers, as his clan killed many of Hashirama's brothers. However, the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan eliminates the blindness drawbacks of the Sharingan. Sasuke, upon gaining the EMS, begins to change his views from becoming the destroyer of the Leaf Village to becoming a Hokage unlike any seen before who operates from the shadows. Madara decides that the human race itself is cursed to hate, so he devises a plan to find a cure for the human paradox. A funny thing I'd like to note about both Hashirama and Madara's characterizations are their childish quirks, being it Hashirama's neurosis, which is signifying his big, mighty, and bleeding heart that he wears on his sleeve, or Madara's dislike of others standing behind him, signifying how he doesn't trust anyone and has no bonds left in material reality. I find this interesting, because like many of the adults in the series, they continue on with the childish quirks being shown. Itachi's perpetual teasing of Sasuke, Jiraiya's failure of the 3 prohibition of shinobi, Might Guy's obsession with youth, Kakashi's obsession with Jiraiya's books, the several childlike crushes shown by adults and children throughout the series, Orochimaru's obsession with learning all jutsu, and the several other perverted characters in the show. Many of the adults in Naruto are stunted children, those whose childhoods were ripped away from them due to them being forced to grow up on the battlefield due to this accursed shinobi world ruled by hatred. The even more brilliant thing behind this is how every single person I mentioned had to grow up early due to events in the story stunting their normal development as a child or young adult. Kakashi losing everyone he loves slowly but surely before reaching age 18. Might Guy losing his father due to the sacrifice of the 8 gates. Jiraiya being exposed to a world war. Orochimaru losing his parents. And even Obito experiencing disillusionment with the world due to the events of the Third Shinobi World War. Every single one of these characters were shaped by their childhoods that the shinobi world took from them. Hashirama and Madara are no different. In their sparring matches, Hashirama would knock Madara down while seemingly winning, only to be knocked down by a rock Madara threw before he got knocked down, foreshadowing the end of their battle at the final valley. Hashirama and Madara fight for days on end, with Hashirama using the Rashomon to deflect Madara's attack to the other side of the river. This shows 2 things. While Hashirama and Madara's battle is still so childlike and human in their journey to end conflict and create peace, the scale of the conflict had now evolved. Hashirama would have to create resolution with Madara, just like Naruto did in his final battle with Sasuke. Except, Hashirama sacrifices his own bond with Madara, using the fact that he was the only one that Madara trusted to be behind him against Madara to kill him. Just like when they were tossing stones with each other as children, Madara managed to live and create the conflict that sets the plot into motion. By failing to reach understanding and failing to find resolution with his brother Madara and his fellow reincarnate, Hashirama, in his desperation to see his dreams realized in his own lifetime, perpetuates the same suffering he intended to destroy. Hashirama, Tobirama, and Madara had known nothing but war all their lives, so the trauma responses from said war creates the mistakes that they make in their lives. They were all too hasty and mistook their vision for the world for true peace without calling into attention resolution. Hashirama and Tobirama would eventually be absolved due to cultivating those who came after them with the will of fire, while Madara only cut down those who could have come after him. He used and manipulated Obito, Sasuke, and tried to take control of the future that Naruto was building, a future full of hope. And he tried to cut down all those young leaves, using them as a platform to ascend to godhood. He wanted to ascend to godhood and save the human race, but it was his very human contradictions that led to his defeat due to being betrayed by Zetsu. Zetsu was everything he thought he could make Obito, a perfect shinobi tool, a blank canvas to project his morality and viewpoint on the world to. Madara manipulated by Zetsu due to his own humanity to revive a once human that is so removed from humanity that she is everything Madara wanted to become but never could be. Pure power. In the end, Madara isn't Takno Jutsu'd because he was aware of his own contradictions, but he didn't realize that conflict creates compromise, hence why he and other powerful shinobi in the series can understand each other through a simple exchange of fists, creating progress towards peace eventually. Him and Hashirama resolved their conflict by discussing where they went wrong and promising to reunite in the afterlife as war buddies. These two brothers, divided by war and conflict, had finally found resolution and attained enlightenment. Tobirama also reached resolution with his hatred of the Uchiha by helping Sasuke in the war arc and begging Madara to spare him. Just like in Buddhist beliefs, these men, through endurance of suffering, reincarnation, and several lives, had attained their own version of nirvana and resolution. As I finish this video, I would just like to say thank you for watching this video. These are some of my drawings. This will not be the last video. I promise I will make another video within the next 2-3 months. I promise I will be consistent with uploading this year. That's my goal. And my next video will be on Ichigo Kurosaki and why he is #1. So enjoy my drawings and thank you guys for watching.